Welcome to our weekly roundup of key business developments in Sri Lanka. I'm Nishani Pigera, and let's look at the main stories for this week. Thai Prime Minister to arrive for FTA sign-in. Private bondholders raise concerns of slow debt deal progress. And inflation rises to 7-month high. In our main story this week, on Saturday, Sri Lanka and Thailand will sign a free trade agreement. Thailand's Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin will be in the country for the signing ceremony and is also a special guest at the 76th National Independence Day celebrations on the 4th of February. 9 rounds of trade discussions were held between the two parties, ranging from trade to services to legal and institutional issues. Around 80% of tariff lines will be liberalized over 15 years, while about 5% will be partially freed from year 15 to 18. During the first 10 months of 2023, bilateral trade value between the two countries was $320 million. This is only the second FTA for Sri Lanka, while Thailand has entered into 14 such agreements. Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, central bank governor, speaking to the media, said that Sri Lanka is to finalize debt negotiations with its private creditors within a couple of months. However, private bondholders have complained that debt talks have not seen any real progress since December 2023. The committee raised concerns about the lack of transparency and substantive engagement. Countering such sentiment, Dr. Veerasinghe said that Sri Lanka must ensure that proposals exchanged are consistent with the IMF's debt sustainability analysis and that they are also comparable. As such, the process is complicated. Private bondholders hold around $12 billion of outstanding ISPs, accounting for 34% of external debt. Sri Lanka's Colombo-centric inflation accelerated to 6.4% in January from a year earlier. Food prices rose 3.8% during the month from supply constraints to vegetables from adverse weather conditions. Non-food prices also rose 2.5%. Higher VAT of 18% imposed in January also affected the prices. According to the central bank, inflation is to rise between 6 to 7% in the early part of the year and then stabilize to around the targeted level of 5% over the medium term, supported by policy measures and well-anchored inflation expectations. According to Nima Siripala de Silva, Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation, ship stocking at the Colombo Port has increased by 35% in January, while container operations at the port have also increased by 72%. The minister attributed this to being likely due to the Red Sea crisis. For ships passing South Africa, Colombo is the easiest port to access. Since the beginning of the Red Sea crisis, the Ports Authority has been handling around 6,000 20-foot equivalent TEUs per day, an increase from the usual 5,000. Merchandise exports in December declined to $1 billion, down 6% from a year earlier. Decline in exports was mainly due to economic slowdown in Sri Lanka's main global markets and regional conflicts. In the month, apparel exports fell 8.6% to $438 million, while tea and coconut marked a slight increase. Exports to the United States, Sri Lanka's single largest export destination, fell 17% from a year earlier. Cumulative merchandise exports for 2023 was $11.8 billion, down 9.1% from a year earlier. However, services exports in 2023 reached $3 billion, 63% higher from a year ago. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation revised fuel prices with effect from February 1st. Price of petrol octane 92 was increased by 5 rupees to 371 rupees per litre, while auto diesel increased to 363 rupees per litre. In our weekly tourism update, over 200,000 tourists are expected in Sri Lanka in January. During the first 28 days, 189,574 tourists arrived in the country at about 6,770 daily arrivals. The primary source market is India, followed by Russia and the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar requested his citizens to visit Sri Lanka for the holidays, emphasizing strong ties between the two countries. Such remarks come following a recent diplomatic row between India and the Maldives, impacting the tourism sector. Oman Air cancelled flights to some South Asian cities, including Sri Lanka, as a part of its ongoing transformation. The move is expected to help improve the overall financial performance and strengthen its position in the market. This week, Sri Lanka is expected to relax visa procedures for all categories. According to Harshi Lukpitia, Controller General of the Immigration and Immigration Department, under the new visa scheme, anyone could obtain a visa for the total period of stay when applying from a foreign country. Looking at regional tourist destinations, in Vietnam, as per a survey done by Vietnam Report JSC, about 93% of businesses in the tourism sector is expected to grow, asserting that Vietnam can achieve 14 to 15 million tourists in 2024. And now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the oil share price index and the S&P SL 20 index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. At the Treasury bill auction held on Wednesday, yields on all maturities significantly contracted. 91-day maturities fell as much as 138 basis points. Bids amounting to 407 billion rupees were received, of which 160 billion were accepted. The Sri Lankan rupee was steady against the dollar this week, with the central bank's indicative mid-spot rate ranging around 370 to 319 rupees. In other market news, India's Jio Platforms and China's GoTo International Investment Holdings were pre-qualified as bidders for the divestiture of Sri Lanka Telecom. And with that, we wind up for this week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link below for regular updates on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.